Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword, MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. But they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there, not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. It's the show that's all about balance. I greet you in the name of Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Warawak Kwadash. Thank you again for being a part of the Crystal Jones Show. Let me tell you how you can check out my show. On a weekly basis, you could check me out, the Crystal Jones Show, every Saturday from 7 to 8 p.m. on bronxnet.org. Your cable channels 951 and 2137, the Inspire channel. Also, check out my other platforms. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos on YouTube, the Crystal Jones TV show. All right. Also, you can check me out on Facebook, Crystal Jones Pictures and Videos. All right. I'm trying to think of other things to, have chats and stuff like that on that particular platform. All right. Also, you can check me out on Instagram, the Crystal Joe, where I have inspirational quotes daily, and the Crystal Jones Show at Gmail. You can always write to me, and check me out on HebrewConnect.tv as well. All right. So we are in the time of Purim at this time. Hopefully when you see the show, it will be right probably around that time or just after. Okay, we tried to get it in for this month, but y'all bear with me. Sometimes difficulties come up with timings and schedules of, filming the show. So bear with me. Y'all been with me all these years. So continue to pray for me and bear with me. Sometimes time constraints are, kind of a situation. Okay. So what we have been talking about was Sister Esther. All right. In the book of Esther. Okay. We've been talking about the patriarchal history of Hebrew Israelite women in the Bible. Okay. Growing up, we did not know that we were the people of the Bible. Some people maybe didn't know, but most of our people thought we would just call Black Americans. But we didn't know our ancestry and all of that kind of stuff, where we had really originally came from. We originated, of course, on the continent of Africa. But prior to that, most of us who are called Black Americans are from the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so Queen Esther was a part of our bloodline. I've read to you the chapters, different chapters in the Bible, especially the book of Revelation, that describes what Christ looked like. Now, they call him Jesus here in America, but his Hebrew name is Yeshaya, right? Which means what? Salvation, right? So we came from that particular group, that bloodline of people. When we arrived here on ships, they had the names of our different tribes on there: tribe of Judah, tribe of Ephraim, all of these. And shout out to that brother I saw last Sabbath on at the train station. He greeted me and told me, I watched your show, and he said he found out that he is the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, so brother, bless you, because you sure blessed me to let me know that somebody is out there listening, right? So we have the tribe of Judah is basically who they call the American Negroes here in this country. All right. We're the tribe of Judah. All right. Black Americans, the tribe of Judah. All right. We have of the 12 tribes, we have the tribe of Reuben. We have the tribe of Gad. Right. I'm sorry. The tribe of Reuben, they're basically from Australia. The tribe of Gad, we have the North Americans and the Seminole Indians. Of course, there are other groups as well. The tribe of Asher, the people of color from Colombia, Brazil, those areas, the tribe of Naphtali, all right, the Isles of Hawaii, the Fijis, the Pacific Islands, the Filipinos, and all that, all a part of the 12 tribes. I know you call yourself people of color and you don't think you're mixed in with the Black Americans, but yeah, we're family, all right? Tribe of Manasseh is the Cubans, tribe of Simeon, the Dominican Republic, Levi is the Haitians, Issachar is the Mexicans, Zebulon is Panama and Costa Rica, Ephraim is the people of color from Puerto Rico, the tribe of Benjamin is the West Indians, like the brother that I met last week who approached me at the train station. Yes, he said he realized he's the tribe of Benjamin. All right. So here in America, it's a lot going on. I really can't stand what I'm seeing where they're trying to pit the Black woman against the Black man. Listen, y'all, it's both of our fault that we're not getting married and we're not coming together. It's both of our fault. Brothers, stop blaming the sisters, and sisters, stop blaming the brothers. Let's stop this nonsense and let's pull it together. All right. Because it's crazy the things that I'm seeing that they're telling us that the sisters are mad because the brothers are going over to Africa and finding women and, putting us down and calling us all kind of, names and stuff like that. And listen, neither side is perfect. All right. And the same thing with the women putting them down. Stop it, y'all, because your enemies are looking at you, and that's what they want. They want us to be against each other and say, well, I ain't marrying a Black man. Well, I don't want a Black man. Well, I don't want a Black woman. Well, you got 12 tribes to choose from. Okay? Get it together. All right? Christ was a man of peace. All right? He brought the gospel of peace, but it caused a lot of friction because he came at a time where the Edomites were in rulership, and the reason why they became in rulership is because we started following their ways. All right, this is why all of this stuff is out of order. So stop the blame game, like in the Garden of Eden. Adam blamed the woman blamed the serpent, everybody blaming everybody, but nobody want to be honest and say, listen, okay, some of our thoughts and ideas are wrong. Okay, that's why I did this teaching on the hierarchy. Okay, God is the head, under him is Christ, under him is the man, and under that is the women. We set the tone, y'all, for the household, but we don't have to do it being mean, nasty, or being bad. And I mean, not all of us do, because we don't. So stop saying that we nasty, we got a Black attitude, and Black women is always. Stop it. It's a lie. Because a lot of my friends are not even like that. So I don't know where all of this is coming from, and then saying, bad things about our men. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. It's a bunch of nonsense. Don't even tap into that mess. I'm seeing it, and I'm like, really? Okay, so Esther was a Black woman. Okay, she was, a Hebrew. She was a Hebrew. All right, and she was one. And I'm gonna have to just kind of tell the story because I thought I was gonna have time, each week to give you a little bit of part of the story of her, which I did. If you go back and look at my first couple of videos and whatnot from this series, you'll see and listen to the things that I've told you about. But basically, Esther came along at a time when we were in Persian captivity. This is something that we don't realize. America was not the first captivity we've been in. It's the last one, according to the Bible. It will be the last one. After this, we will leave, and Christ will return, and he's going to wipe everything out. He's not coming to hide us from anything like that. He's coming for war. The books that were hidden from us are now open. Okay, and it tells you Christ is coming back as the warrior because he has to set things in order. And yeah, World War III is coming because after World War III is when we will rule and reign in Jerusalem. Right now, you've seen a changing of the guard. Esau is the end of this world as it is, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And Jacob is us. The 12 tribes came from Jacob. All right. So that's the difference between us and those who, say that they're from the Esau line, which are the Edomites. They were not given the promise. We were. Okay. So go back in my videos. You can look at that. I'll be going over that another time too. But in Esther, what happened is that when we were in the Persian captivity, there was a Persian king, and the Lord allowed it to be that he decided he wanted to get a new wife. So Mordecai, who was of the Hebrew descent, he decided to have his niece Esther go and, so to speak, apply for the job. Because this man, at that time, the people was all mixed in. Why? Because on that continent, we were all dark people. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't know who she was. But he loved Esther. He loved her ways and everything like that. So he brought her into the palace. Now, this was what would save our people alive. It's not the first time they tried to kill our people and get rid of us. Here in America, we've had, Black Wall Street. We've had Florida. There's a couple of things that went down in Florida, the burning. If y'all go and look at some of those movies, there's nothing but black graveyards all over this country, including in New York. If you go in New York to right there in Central Park, that's a place too that they threw us out of. The Wall Street, they used to sell our people right there in Wall Street, y'all. This whole country is full of Black Israelite people that died, okay, because of who we are. They wanted to get rid of us. You understand what I'm saying? So, at this particular time, this was Persia. All right. This is like the 12th captivity we've been in, right? So thank God we're going to learn after this. Don't follow those other ways. Stop following these people with these idol gods and all of this kind of stuff. Get back to the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. We were chosen as a special people because we have to judge the fallen angels. All right, that fell from grace. Yes, Lucifer and all his crew. All right, y'all know I've read to you about what happened when the fallen angels came down here on earth, the things that they caused us to get into, stuff that we shouldn't even knew about, gave us knowledge of things that we didn't need to have knowledge of. Really, God had created us so that we should have been eating from the Garden of Eden and whatnot and just waiting to judge the fallen angels. That's it. But no, we wanted to be like Rome and this one and that one, and that thing set us up for a big fall. Okay, so now here in the Persian captivity, okay, Esther goes, she becomes the queen. Now there's an enemy of ours in that Persian castle, Haman. He didn't like the fact that our ancestor, who was Esther's uncle, Mordecai, would not bow down and worship him. Okay, Haman was appointed as like a chief captain over that Persian empire, right? By the king. Now, the king didn't realize that Esther, his wife. So you have Haman that didn't like the fact that Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him, because he said, no, I ain't bowing down to y'all. I'm a Jew. We don't do that. We only bow down to God. We're not bowing down to people. No, we ain't doing that. Right? So that caused a big stir. Right? So, Haman told the king, like, this guy, he don't even bow down, and he's a Jew, and they do their own thing. They got their own customs, ways, laws, and commandments against what we believe in. So let's make a declaration to kill them all. Sounds like the same crap that went on here in this country. All right. A lot of times, the different things, if you really read about it, history has repeated itself with us. Right. So when he did that, Mordecai found out about it and told Esther, listen, this guy trying to take us out. So you're going to have to go to the king and ask him, and tell him to kill my food. You got to do something, right? So that, that song that Tamla Man sings, Take Me to the King, that's what that's about, really, like Queen Esther, right? So Queen Esther went to the king, and at the time that she went, she wasn't really supposed to, because he would have to give the okay for her to even come in his quarters at that time to talk, because anybody that would come in could get their head chopped off. But he saw her coming, and she did it in a nice way, where she was looking for help. She made it look like she was distressed, and he was like, wait a minute, don't kill my queen, what's going on? So she told him what happened. And so because she did this sister was able to save us alive in Persian captivity. God allowed it. God blessed her, and she was able to do that. Okay. And our sisters have done things down, I just Esther, down through the centuries. We've done it, right? But because we're here now in this country, and so many things that have troubled our people, our sisters, yeah, rape, and all kind of different things that have, troubled us, purposely are losing children through so-called birth accidents and all kind of stuff like that. We've been through a lot. We've been tricked. We've been fooled into all these crazy type of systems that have been here since been in this place. Okay, so I wanted to remind us of the good that we do. All right, and we can work on ourselves just like our men need to work on themselves too. You better believe it, right? None of us is perfect, but we need to start addressing our issues. Are there some things that we're doing to be unlikable sometimes, because we don't trust a lot. Okay. And I understand that. Y'all. But we have got to change that. We got to come back to the ways, statutes, and commandments of the Lord and rejoice. I'm proud of our sisters. Y'all are doing it with the hair care products and the books and all kind of stuff, y'all. God has blessed us. Don't let these people tear us. No, y'all. God has blessed us in this. When God bless us, there's nothing anybody can do to stop us. But we've got to check ourselves, because we were created to be the helpmeet for our husbands. We're the ones that have ideas and stuff like that. A lot of times, the husbands will come and say, "Listen, this is what our family, I would like our family to do as a business or whatnot." And we come, "All right, babe." You know what I'm saying? So we gotta pray that we could work along with these men. These are our men. All right. Let's not start that craziness. No, just like all these other nationalities and whatnot, their nationalities are growing and moving on. And so should ours. All 12 tribes, all the ones I just read. We need to keep it moving. Okay. So let's all work on ourselves. All right. If we are not so agreeable, then sometimes we need to learn to be, because sometimes we got to know when to talk to our men. When he's angry, he's upset. And the men too, because, like I said, I'm not trying to say it's all us, because it's not. Okay, so we got to stop this, well, I ain't making move unless you, you know what I'm saying? we got to stop that stuff for real, okay? And, close your ears to the other nations that have so much to say, but yet contributed to our downfall. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get together. And the way we get together, anoint our heads, wash our face, and go before the Lord humbly and ask the Lord to help us. Okay, now, quickly for the news. Missing kids. Listen, y'all. I keep telling y'all, these kids are not missing for no reason. There's all kind of human trafficking going on, as well as organ harm. Stop letting your kids be by themselves all the time and just walking down the street by themselves, going to school, and they only 5 years old. Stop it. Stop. Because our organs are healthier than a lot of these other nations. So believe me, they looking to kidnap these kids either for sex trafficking or organ harvesting or even slavery. Okay, listen, that still goes on. All right, now another thing I wanted to cover. Have y'all noticed that they building all these buildings here in the Bronx, just all places, especially you go down to Bruckner, this side, that side, the other side, and they making room for all these people to come in from other nations, letting them work in the police department and all of this kind of stuff, giving them all these rights and stuff that our ancestors never had, right? Now it's the thing with the Section 8. They're denying our women Section 8 housing. They're giving them the voucher, but not to move into Section 8. Why? Because the people that are coming in, their Section 8 is worth more. Yours might only be worth $1,200. Theirs it is worth twice that. So who are they going to choose? They're going to choose the higher voucher. That's what's going on with the Section 8 issue. Okay. Is it fair? No, because they're using our tax dollars for all kind of stuff. Okay. So just to let you know, this is what's going on. All right. Another thing, be careful, food poisoning. Okay. That stuff with the chickens. Bark, 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 chicken, chicken, chicken. Y'all, come on. Be for real. You know what's up with that. All of a sudden, when they stop feeding the chickens a certain chicken feed, that they started having more the laying the eggs again. All of a sudden, the chickens stopped laying the eggs, and now that they stopped feeding them a certain chicken feed, all of a sudden, eggs start coming. All right. If you can, like I told y'all, get ready because it's going to get worse here. Get your own chickens. You start growing your own stuff. You do your own thing. I do my own thing. Make my own shampoo and all kind of stuff like that. Y'all start doing your own stuff because they also trying to make some food out of plastic. Now, y'all know that it's not digestible. So that's going to cause problems in your digestive system. Watch that. Okay. Also the school system. I keep telling y'all, Black History Month, they letting the kids dress up like blackface and the parents too. Like what? So it goes to show you they think of us as a joke. Okay. They still doing blackface. I mean, how ignorant, right? Foolish. Anyway, also they don't want Black history taught in the schools. When I'm seeing more and more of you are getting it and pulling your kids out. So they're telling a lot of the schools that the only thing they could teach is from 1970 onward. So that cuts out Dr. King right away. Dr. King, Malcolm X, all of them, they don't want them to be talked about. So get your kids out of these schools, start homeschooling them, okay, and doing the right thing for your children. Stop subjecting your kids to getting beat up by children of other ethnicities that get away with it. Next thing you know, they're going to call you because your child is in the morgue. I'm very serious, okay? That's next, because you know this is where that ends up, okay? So let's be diligent and start teaching our own kids. We the best ones for them anyway. We the best ones to tell them about their history and all of that. We could create networks where the children can, get together and all of that kind of stuff. Dr. King has said, I'm afraid I led my people into a burning building. So he saw before he died that desegregation it's not going to work. I'm sorry. It's not. All right. Not at the expense of our children being beat up and all of that kind of stuff. Let's stop that nonsense right now. Okay. Some of you maybe have found schools where it does work. Thank God for that. But you better still keep your eye out on it because That's how. Next thing don't let your child feel like they're left alone. All right. Okay. So, the next thing, that we're just going to run to the business thing right now so that we can, the health and wellness, so that we can get to. I have a very special guest today, so I want to get this out of the way so that she can do, we can interview her and she can, talk to you about what she does. Health and wellness. Don't give up on the gym, y'all. I know how it is. You start the gym the first of the year, and the next thing you know, you ain't doing the gym no more. Don't give up on it. Keep going back. All right. Get with your network of people and discuss what will motivate you to continue. All right. Maybe there's something that will help you a little better as far as being, you know, what could I say, faithful to going on a weekly basis. Maybe you need to sign up for classes at the gym instead of you just doing your own thing. All right. Maybe the classes help you to be more responsible. Like you're like, oh man, I got to get to that Tuesday, Thursday class. I gotta go. I gotta go. You know what I mean? Get a buddy, somebody that, you can, be accountable to. Some of us need a lot of accountability. All right. So don't give up on it. Keep going. All right. So we are at this time. We are so glad that we have with us today Eartha Watts-Hicks, who is an author, and she does many other things which she's going to tell you about. But she is the author of Love Changes. Okay, that's a book that she has out. And we're going to be talking to her. She's an award-winning author, all right, of the series of Love Changes. And we're going to invite her onto the platform that she can talk to us and tell us all about what she does. Welcome, Eartha, to the Crystal Jones Show.
Hello, Ms. Jones, and thank you for the invitation. I'm so honored. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're so glad to have you on the show. I know that you do a lot besides an author. Do a lot of things. Most of us do many different things, many platforms, many blessings the Lord has given us. So we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us some of your history.
Okay, I'm a mom, so that's first and foremost. And in a way, when you're a mom, you're sort of equipped to do a lot of things. So, in addition to being a mom, I'm a book publisher. I'm also an editor. I'm also a book designer. I do layout and design of my own books and also for other people's books. I also subcontract as an independent publisher for myself and for other authors who need help with the process. I'm editor in chief at Harlem World Magazine. I've been a contributing writer for them for over 10 years. I'm a member of the Writers Guild. I'm also a fiction fellow through the Hurston Wright Foundation and the Center for Black Literature. I'm also, let me see. Oh, I also design a planner series called The Planner is a Girl's Best Friend, which is available for sale on the Planner is a Girl's Best Friend website. There are also copies on Amazon as well as available through Walmart.
Mhm.
And I'm also a PR writer and affiliate for blackpr.com, specializing in press releases and press kits for Black-owned businesses. So I do a little bit of everything from editing manuscripts to designing books to writing press content and doing social media.
That's awesome. I'm impressed by that. That is really good. I'm so glad that a lot of our people are getting into that like crazy. I've had so many authors on my show, and it's been a blessing, to know that we have so many authors. I've had a panel of Black male authors on the show at the time that I was inside the studio, and that was an awesome thing to see as well, that more of our Black men are, writing books and that sort of thing. So definitely we thank God, we applaud you on your successes, and we're so glad to be a part of it, and share with the world what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about love changes. What is that about?
Okay. Love changes. The story itself is the story of a 26-year-old who wants to marry her high school sweetheart, and it's right after college. And the two of them are living together, and they just had a baby. And in that dynamic, she dropped out of college while he got his degree and went on to graduate school. So there is that whole disappointment that the family has in the daughter or in the mentor for not completing college. Plus, people have their opinions about her basically building her life around her man instead of focusing on what it is she wants for herself. But in this dynamic of right after college, the adult life begins, sharing an apartment. Now it's them and their own bills and being underemployed, not enough money, and now they have a baby. They're facing all of this adult parenthood, and in the midst of that, she has a male best friend who now wants to complicate the dynamic even further. And it's a journey of self-love and self-acceptance for the main character, whose name is Mia, and her name is Mia Love. And it's her own personal journey of self-love, self-acceptance, and identifying who she is and what she wants out of life. And that all begins in understanding what she believes and why.
Wow. Yeah, that I think something like that is very awesome, because too many times we see that type of thing happening, because the family dynamic a lot of times has been broken down in our culture, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and where that many times I talk to different people about that type of thing. We go back to where it seemed like that started, and a lot of it where at one point in time our people were the highest of all the nationalities that were married. And then from there, because of it, it seemed like our people was they started to offer our people what we would call the welfare system. Now that system was at first supposed to be just until you get back on your feet, but it was a way for them to break up our families by telling the woman, okay, we'll help you, but your husband can't live there with you. Now I meet so many people that tell me that they lived through that, because at one time a lot of our people did live, in the projects and stuff like that. So they would, really get, catch a lot of our people like that, because here's the black woman thinking she's being a help, you know, but then come to find out that when she took this on, this caused a rift really between her and the black man. Okay, because being that he could only be there at certain times, because you have the people that are going to come check and all of that kind of stuff, that continues to break the family further and further apart. So now this becomes a business for a lot of our sisters, because not only were they doing that, they were giving you money for each child you had.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like they were consistently trying to break the black family down through the generations. They did not want to see us succeed, because the truth is, when they brought us here in ships, they brought us here because we knew how to take care of the land.
Mhm.
As much as they call us lazy and they go, oh, they black people don't want to do this, doesn't want to do that. They didn't do any work. We did the work.
Mhm. And oh, can I add also?
Sure.
With the civil rights movement, the
Mhm.
Black family during that time of the 50s and the 60s was constructed of usually in many cases a mother and a father who had a church going family, and it was common to say a church home, there's no home like a church home.
Yeah.
So it was a church home, church environment, and the civil rights movement was funded by Black families who had children in college, who had a husband and a wife, and their funds is what supported the civil rights movement. So
Mm.
once they saw the power of our dollar, when we contributed our dollars to the civil rights movement, there was the motive for, the welfare system, and getting us dependent on the funds from systems at large.
Exactly, exactly. And then that caused problems within the Black community, period. Because then the women that, would like stay home and have children to, collect more money, which now I understand it. When I was growing up, I couldn't understand that dynamic. Like, really? But now I get it because that was their way of making an income. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now I get that. But they would look at women like me or you who work as being crazy. Like, why would y'all work? Why would y'all do this and that and whatever? Because they're gonna tax this, they're gonna do that. Whereas these women could be on welfare, and then when they file their taxes, they're gonna get back $10,000 per year if they know that dynamic. Some of them knew how to work the system. So during their tax season, they get back $10,000. You know what I'm saying? So to them, that was money, right? But if you don't use that then to get yourself out of that, then you stay stuck in their system. You know what I'm saying? So very few knew, okay, I'm going to make this work for me for now. And I'm going to create something for myself so that someday I can get out of the ghetto, go get a house, in the suburbs somewhere, and give my children and myself a different type of lifestyle. And in the meantime, it created a rift between us and Black men.
Mhm.
That's why so many of us are not married now, because we're so used to doing our own thing. And that becomes a problem because when I sit and talk to Black men, they will sometimes say something like, well, I'm afraid of you because what could I give you? You
Mhm.
do everything yourself. You do this, you do that, and you do the other. So what part would I play? So that's a situation where we as Black people have to come together and realize that we have to work together so that we can build things together. We
Mhm.
could build businesses, husband and wife together. We don't have to be like, well, I'm doing my thing over here. And well, he could do his thing. And, we don't have to do that. But because it's been so broken down, it's like we got to stop now and figure out, where did we go wrong? Okay, let's get it together and let's keep moving forward. Okay, because no matter how much we sit up and I guess you heard me earlier. I'm so tired of seeing the rants and, oh well, the Black woman, she, and all of that kind of. Stop it, stop, because them a show.
Mhm.
We giving them a show that they don't need. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we don't need. It's time for us to build each other up and come together, continue to get married, have children, create a legacy, because that's what God created us to have families.
Mhm.
That's what we're supposed to do. keep moving on. We ain't supposed to be, I'm on this side, I'm against them, and they against us. No, we gotta stop being against each other. It just, it does not make sense. But when I see, our sisters, doing a lot of different things, I'm so proud of them. With the, the books, that the hair products, the clothing, so many different things that our women do. So I want to encourage us, as well as let us know we still got work to do, because we do have to get back together with our men. That's what God wanted us to do. We have to do that, and they have to also, come back together with us. We can't keep having this standoff. You know, it doesn't make sense. But we're gonna also touch on your planner, which is awesome. I love that. Planning things. That's something that we gotta, I'm always writing down stuff that I gotta do and whatnot. A planner, yes. Plan things as much as you can. This is something that you have here: 12-month perpetual calendar, weekly calendar with a timetable, and and more. A planner is a girl's best friend. Yes, we need planners.
Yes.
If we have the video, please show the planner video if we have that available. I think it'd be nice for everybody to see the planner video. Yes, so that planner is an awesome thing. And like you mentioned, the church. I know at my church we plan and we have talks. We stand up and we have talks about this, about why are we not getting married anymore? Like we used to. What's the problem? We stand, we let it out. Like what's going on? And those are things that you got to plan within the churches. We have to, true, we're learning the Bible, but we have to now do the Bible in real time. You know what I'm saying? If Christ said this or that, why are we not really fitting in with what he said? If this is what we're saying, we following the gospel, right? So where are we going wrong as people? Because something is wrong, right? So planning those things, planning talks with your family, talk at home, talk with your children, talk with older people in your family. What things worked for our people back then. We have the nerve to make fun of our ancestors with how they did things, but come on now, they were getting married and having children and things, working, and like you said, the church was the backbone of the community. But I think what happened too was that we weren't learning who we were in the Bible. If you don't know you're the people of the Bible, it might make you like, well, this really ain't got nothing to do with me. Does God love me because I'm not in here? So I think that too is, if you explain to people who they are in the Bible. When I found out who we were through my family, even, following our family tree and saying, oh yeah, girl, we Hebrew. We that really, I didn't know how Black people Hebrew. I did not know that. But when I found out who Christ was and telling us he was two different people, and I said, okay, something is wrong, you know. And I started doing the digging and the work and reading the different scriptures and stuff. And I said, oh, okay, something, they didn't tell us something right here. So when you really dig in there and you figure out who's who, and you realize that you are the people and that you have a work to do. There's a reason why people really hate us. You know what I'm saying? Why people can't stop coming after us, for this, that, and the other all the time. They always coming. If it ain't for our braids, it's for our
Exactly.
music. It's
Mhm.
always for something. It's because we were created for a purpose. So we're
Mhm.
always going to stand out.
Exactly.
Always.
Can I
I'm
share a poem?
sure.
I have a poem that it's very much my I'm Black and Proud poem, and I
Okay.
call it Beautiful People.
Okay.
Beautiful people, we stand out overdue, emboss our stamp on simple. Reimagine, reinvent, invigorate. Look now, it's unrecognizable. We refuse to be outdone. With genius encrypted genetics, we expose mediocrity, surpass the incredible. Shock. Our efforts build this entire world. Shake it, make it crane its neck, mock, but ultimately mimic our best, even in the absence of respect. Side note, some stargazers pretend they don't see Venus. That's okay, honey. They can watch Uranus. Only when thoroughly impressed will the compliments, nice, tight, sick, slick, ever slip past the lips of those with thick skin, the color of crude oil. We are boldly critical. Blame the beauty of our try, ascribe the might of our maker, but don't deny. And that's my poem called Beautiful People.
All right. Yes. That's right. That's right. We're always going to stand out, you
Mhm.
know? And that's why I'm so happy that a lot of our people are creating their own schools and stuff like that, because our children need to be taught by us. They just
Yeah,
do, you
they're
know?
not going to give us the full history. They're not going to tell us what our people were doing during the entire 19th century, from 1901 all the way, no, 20th century, from 1901 all the way up to 1999. We're not going to find out about Black inventors who invented everything from medicines to who like the gentleman that supported Thomas Edison and creating the filament, to all the different people who were slaves and had their creations taken away from them, and didn't receive any notoriety whatsoever because they were either assisting someone or owned by someone else. We have a rich, rich history, and it's a history of people that we either never heard the names of or we don't remember the names because we don't hear them often enough.
That's true. That is so true. We have so many Black inventors because remember, when we came here, we did the work. So, of course, we invented the things that would, help us. Madam C.J. Walker with the hair products and all of that kind of stuff. We did so many different things that people don't even realize that we've created, down to foods and stuff like that. We have just so many people. I'm looking here at Frederick McKinley Jones. All right. He left his mark with the development of refrigeration equipment, receiving over patents for it. All
Mhm,
right. There was a time our people couldn't even they wouldn't even let us patent our own stuff. They were patenting um our stuff.
mhm.
Okay. Um we have Granville T. Woods. He accumulated almost 60 patents during his lifetime, many of which improved the functioning of railroads. Like, I'm gonna tell you that in these schools or
Yeah,
anything. And of course, they're never gonna teach our history. Why? It makes them look bad.
right. Just, like we've heard of Amelia Earhart, but we didn't hear of Bessie Coleman. It's
Exactly. That is so
the same
true.
thing. Mhm.
Yeah. And I always tell people, remember, this is a European run country.
Mhm.
It really is. Those are the main people. Those are the people that are basically at the top right now. They're
Right.
at the top.
And to
So
justify slavery, they were trying to convince everyone, including us, that our race was inferior, when in
exactly.
fact our race was responsible for the growth of the country. Without us, America wouldn't be what America was. Without our labor, without our effort, without our strength, and sadly, we had no choice in the matter. It was life or
Right.
death for us.
That's so true. It's so true. And I mean, when they, and it's sad because they even go back and know that from the cradle of civilization started over there on the continent of Africa. So that means that they came from us. They came from us.
Right.
Okay.
And,
So it's
and
like,
Africa was cities. It wasn't, just huts and grass. There were
exactly.
complete cities in Africa when we were kidnapped and we were brought over here. They didn't bring us over from nothing to something. They brought us from something to nothing. They brought us
Right.
from something to build something here. They knew what they were doing. So
Exactly.
the continental slave trade was to help the rest of the world fitting off of the backs of our labor and our people and our children and our bloodlines. So
That's true.
it is what it is.
The book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all those things in the 20th chapter, the Lord said, if you do what I tell you, this is going to be your blessing. But if you don't, this is going to be your curses.
Mm,
And one of them says, I'll send you in ships back to, I'll send you over in ships to slavery,
mm,
to a land where that's swift as the eagle. And the eagle emblem is what? Rome and America.
mm.
Okay. You curses, nobody fits that but us. There's a bunch of them in that. I always tell everybody, go to the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy. That's going to show you who we are. Okay. So, it doesn't make sense that these people are the truth about who we are, because they know there was that fight between Esau and Jacob. All right. We're Jacob's kids. All right. Esau became the Europeans. He mixed in from being Hebrew into those European nations, and the Nephilim and all of that. And when he did that, they became the Edomites. He became the ruler over Edom. Okay. So the promise was never to Esau, it was to Jacob. We're twice, you know, named through his sons. All those different tribes that I named, those are Jacob's kids, not Esau's kids. So the promise is to us. Esau and Jacob struggle from within the womb in the beginning. Okay. And the struggle goes on today. That's why when they found those other books that were taken out by, the big C church, that wanted to change laws and times and stuff like that, they took those books out. But when they found them, second Ezra tells you Esau is the beginning, is the end of this world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Because remember, Jacob had his hand on Esau's heel coming out. So that was that prophecy being fulfilled. Esau came out first, but Jake had his heel. I'm next. And we're the one that's next, because everything that they've created is coming down. All of it is falling apart. Everything, if you notice, is falling apart at their hands, and they're at the helm. Not us. We're not at the helm. They're at the helm. And everything that they're doing is falling apart, from this place here that they created through their other European countries that helped make this place. All of that is coming to an end. Everything is crashing. The things that I've mentioned to you, all that they trying to play it off like, oh, ain't nothing going on.
Mhm.
But it is. It's a lot of things going on, shooting the balloon down and all that kind of stuff recently. Like, why do you think they shot that thing down? No, that stuff probably got all kind of stuff that's gonna go in the air with all these other chemtrail things that make people ill, right? So eventually they're gonna bring this stuff down, and their own people are gonna realize we were never their enemy. It was their own people, because it's about greed. In the end, it's really about their greed, that they want to have just the 1% make it and everybody else finished. So they don't even really care for their own. And their own are starting to open up their eye a little bit. Some of them are like, wait a minute, I thought it was all about the black people, but it's really, it's not. It's it's their own stuff that's going to take them, that's going to cause them to miss out. But anyway, thank you for being a part of the show. What's your information? What do you want people to know so they could come and visit you, at your website or whatever,
Okay, like Earth Tone is a color. My name is Eartha, Eartha, and I'm across all social media at Eartha Tone, Earthatone, and that's everywhere from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, all of it. My website for the planners is aplannerisagirlsbestfriend.com. My novel Love Changes won an award from the NAACP. It won the
wonderful.
Thank you. Won the Literary Fiction Game Changers Award, and it's available larger print as well as regular print on Amazon.com, and it features licensed music content used with permission as well as some original poetry. And the link for Love Changes is www.tinyurl.com/Love Changes Novel. And that's the best way to get it. Or just connect with me on social media at earthatone.com and inbox me a message, and I'll send you the direct link.
Okay, well, thank you again for being a part of the show. We hope you'll come back and share more of what you're doing in the in the near future. You're always welcome to come back. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to the Crystal Jones Show. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Rise up, Israel. Rise up. Tell a story. Kwam Yasharala Kwam. I always tell you, stay. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Visit me on all of my social media platform, and you stay safe and you be balanced. God bless you.
And manipulation, Jezebel and all them spirits, fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword, MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there, not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.